So first and foremost, what we're gonna do is, as usual, make a blueprint. The blueprint is the most important thing in this process, because if you make any piece out of shape, it's the model, the end product is going to be very bad looking, like very bad looking. Like I've made Iron Man helmets before and without an actual plan, and it looked very out of place, ugly, and it did not fit. So using a plan is the best. So draw it down, take your best length, like the length you want to make, the length you think that won't be an issue for you, and then you build according to that. So like usual, we make a small tube, but make it flatten it a bit, because when you flatten a bit, we're making the lower part of the fuselage, because on either side of the fuselages are the intakes, and those are separate tubes. So it's first and foremost is the front part, so the lower part of the fuselage. So crush it up. The cross section of the whole thing, it should be uniform, should be actually rectangular. So that's what I'm doing. As you can see, it's rectangular on there, and after that you need to actually select the part, the front part of the actual plane. So basically the nose cone, that's what we're making next. So basically a small cone would do, and we will be making that next. We're making the rear part, because the rear part of the actual jet, because the front is done, the nose cone is done, the lower portion of the nose cone. So basically the fuselage's front part, so the actual cockpit, that's where it is, like the part before the cockpit. So in front of it, the nose, the pointy nose part. So that's what we made. So once all of that is done, we finished all of that whole part. Next, what we're making is the flat part. You know where the Sukhoi has those small, like engine intake ailerons, like the ones that actually help the jet to actually increase the lift while taking off. Now I'm doing the same folding thing, the pattern, the normal folding pattern like I did for the B2, and pasting it. So yes, this is, do it uniformly, because having any creases like I did for the B2 would actually ruin it and the final product. Like if you put it like on the surface part, it's gonna look ugly. So now I'm just actually measuring it. I would suggest, if you are making it very accurately, just do the same thing. Like what I'm doing is just making to one side, replicate it, and just actually trace it on the same thick paper, and cut it out on both sides. So those are the actual points before, like the, let's call it the housing plates for the front, the before intake ailerons actually. Now I'm actually measuring it to the scale, because I did actually, as you can see, I actually got it wrong twice. So I placed the front part, the one I just told about, in front a bit, and that was wrong too. I had to adjust it again, and then finally, after 2 tries, actually fixed. And you need to cut some parts out, because normally in the jet, like there's a protruding engine part, and it has to look like it's protruding from the wings into the fuselage upwards. So that's how we get to make it next. So yes. What we're making is, there's a small, somewhat, you can see 2 pieces attached. That's actually the part below the intake and above the plate we just installed. Let's say installed. That's to like make it like pop out. Like even in the actual jet, it has that piece, because they actually want to protrude the intakes outwards, like downwards, not outwards. So that's what we're doing, and now we just measured the engine on the exact length, and now I would suggest you do the same, but it's in somewhat a deformed cube shape, right? Like if you take a frontward, a full frontward positioning of the jet, it's not a square, it's somewhat like a, what do you call it? Trapezoid? No. Tetrahedron? No, something like that, I think. Yes. Tetrahedron, and I believe that's, yes. So next, so one side has to be circular, obviously the afterburner side, and the intake side should be squarish, so that's what I did. As you can see, it's slanted, so cut that accurately as possible, as you can see in a picture. I normally use pictures when it's not upward or downward views, it's just pictures. So as you can see, I cut a piece in the installed piece before, like the before part. Those I had to cut it out, because the engines are protruding outwards. So that needs to be done, and that is it for this part. Do the same to the other side. Use paper to reinforce it. Actually, there should be, I believe, a millimeter sized piece in between the middle fuselage and between the afterburners. So make that portion too, because it needs to have that small, slight opening, sort of like a gap in between. And yes. coloring it all up so it looks actually pretty. So it's actually not just pretty, it needs to actually look smooth, like not jagged edged and like out of place pieces. Now what I'm doing is just making another tube. Obviously this is for the cockpit. So the cockpit, it doesn't start off like the normal ones in, like, let's say F-22 Raptor. It doesn't just pop up. This one has a small like triangular circular shape protrusion forward, as you can see, that piece. So I had to shape that up. So basically one side is flattened down, and the other side is somewhat an oval, but it's a half oval. That is what you need to do next. So as you can see, I did that, and we add another circle for the filling part. You just need to fill it up to actually make it look realistic. As you can see, it's like basically making a cockpit. So it's very much easy if you do it as I'm doing it right now. So basically piecing it, putting it piece by piece, so that that's just a cone, just cut it into pieces, and using long strips of paper to actually glue it down, and it actually takes the shape. So that's the next step. just as usual, it's the same things: wings, tail wings, tail rudders, and rudders. Finally, the final product. Painting is totally fine. You can leave it white as white. You can leave it as fully black. There's multiple paint jobs for this U-57. There's, I believe, 4. You can use any you like. I'll actually show you some of the pictures. They are on the screen right now. So this is the final product of the SU-57, the Sukhoi 57, the Russian Consolidate fighter. So I believe this was the jet that did the Cobra maneuver in Gun Maverick. So yes, I did the detailing after finishing making it, like the paint and stuff. Everything was after. These are just paint like pen drawings. This is plating them because it's better that way. And yeah, this turned out really well, and this is it actually. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when we will be making the, I believe it is the F-16, the US F-16. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed, and leave a like, and hope you do actually leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you next time.